What if I told you that Donald Trump, the man whose entire political brand is built on loyalty, just earned on two of his own most loyal supporters in Congress? No Democrats, not the media, his own people. And the reason it happened, they wanted the Epstein files released. That's where we are right now. Stay with me because this one's important. Welcome back. I am Frank John, and this is Joshu Reaction, where we break down what's actually happening in politics. No spin, no drama, just the truth. So, here's what went down. Trump went on Truth Social and posted a direct attack on Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. He called her, and I am quoting directly, weak minded. He called her a carpetbagger, and then he threatened to pull his endorsement from her and said he did back a primary challenger against her in Colorado's 4th congressional district. Think about that for a second. Lauren Boebert, one of the most publicly pro-Trump members of Congress, wore her MAGA brand like a badge of honor, and Trump just publicly went after her like she was an enemy. And it didn't stop with Boebert. Congressman Thomas Massie from Kentucky is also in the crosshairs. So, what did these two actually do to earn this? Here's the core of the story, and this is the part that matters most. Both Lauren Boebert and Thomas Massie broke ranks with the rest of the Republican Party to support the release of the Epstein files, the secret documents, the records that could unmask wealthy, powerful people who were connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, whoever those people turned out to be, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. Boebert and Massie took the position that the American public deserves to know the truth. The victims deserve justice, that no one should be protected just because they have money or connections. That's their stated reason, and both of them refused to back down even after facing direct pressure from Trump to drop it. And that's what set this off. Look, I'm not here to tell you what to think about Epstein or the files. But what I can tell you is this: two sitting members of Congress stood on a position. Trump pushed back, they didn't move, and now they are being punished for it. Whether you agree with me or not, that's a significant moment. Now, let's talk about what that punishment actually looks like, because it's not just a mean post on social media. Thomas Massie is facing a primary in Kentucky this Tuesday, and the money being dumped against him is record breaking. We are talking millions of dollars flowing in from Trump aligned super PACs and special interest lobbies, all with one goal: take Massie out, make an example of him, send a message to every Republican in Washington that says, do not step out of line. That's not a primary. That's a pressure campaign. And it's not the first time we have seen this play out. Senate Bill Cassidy from Louisiana just lost his primary after Trump labeled him disloyal. Why? Because Cassidy accepted the results of the 2020 election and voted to convict Trump in his second impeachment trial. And when Cassidy gave his concession speech, he said something worth repeating. He said, and again I'm quoting directly, when you lose, you don't pout, you don't whine, you don't claim the election was stolen. Whether you agree with Cassidy or anything else or not, those words hit different right now. Now, I know some of you watching this from Canada might be thinking, why does this matter to me? Here's why. What's happening right now inside the Republican Party is a stress test for independent thinking in politics. When elected officials can be financially wiped out in a primary simply for supporting transparency, for asking that secret files will be released, that affects more than just one party or one country. It affects the principle that politicians should be able to follow their conscience without being destroyed for it. For Americans, this is also about accountability. The Epstein case involves real victims, real crimes, real powerful people who have never fully faced public scrutiny. The question of whether that truth ever comes out, that's not a partisan issue. That's a justice issue. And right now, the people who pushed for that transparency are being targeted. So, here's what you need to keep your eyes on in the coming days. Tuesday's primary in Kentucky is the first real answer we are going to get. Does Thomas Massie survive the millions being spent against him, or does he get knocked out? That result is going to tell us a lot about how much real grassroots sport exists versus how much power, money, and loyalty tests actually hold right now. Then watch what happens with Bobbitt's endorsement situation in Colorado. Does Trump follow through and back a primary challenger, or does this stay as a public warning shot? These two races taken together are going to draw a pretty clear line about where the Republican Party actually stands heading into the next cycle. That's where we stand today, folks. Trump attacking his own allies over the Epstein files, two members of Congress paying a serious price for not backing down, and a party in the middle of deciding what it's actually about. I want to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. And if this video gave you something to think about, hit that subscribe button and share with it someone who pays attention to what's really going on. I am Frank John. We are Christians. God bless America. Stay sharp, stay informed. Talk soon. Take care. Bye bye.